Hey there, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Welcome back to Coins Dealer, where we dive deep into the world of rare coins and their astonishing values. Today, we're uncovering the secrets behind a truly incredible piece of numismatic history, the 1960 Lincoln penny with a D mint mark, worth a staggering $10 million. Yes, you heard that right. First, let's take a quick trip back in time. The Lincoln penny was first issued in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the 100th anniversary of his birth. Over the years, this iconic coin has gone through several design changes. But the 1960 Lincoln penny stands out for a very special reason. In 1960, the U.S. Mint produced pennies with two different designs due to a transition from the old design to the new one. The D mint mark signifies that the penny was minted in Denver. However, what makes the 1960 D penny truly remarkable is an error that occurred during its production. This specific penny is notable for its unique double die error, which means that the images on the coin were struck more than once, leading to a dramatic doubling effect. Collectors and numismatists value coins with such errors tremendously, often leading to shocking price tags. Now, let's talk numbers. A 1960 D Lincoln penny in mint condition can fetch up to $10 million at auction. This remarkable value comes from both its rarity and the unique double die error. Only a handful of these coins are known to exist, making it a coveted treasure for collectors. So, how can you spot a valuable 1960 D Lincoln penny? Here are a few tips. Look for the D under the date. Use a magnifying glass to inspect for that doubled feature in the lettering and details. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins graded MS65 and above are particularly sought after. If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare pennies, proper preservation is key. Store it in a coin holder or capsule to protect it from tarnish and damage. Keep it in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. So there you have it. The incredible story of the 1960 Lincoln penny with a D mint mark that could be worth a whopping $10 million. We're diving into a true numismatic treasure, the 1964 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, which is worth a staggering $9 million. Yes, you heard that right, this tiny coin has a big story to tell. So, stick around as we uncover the mystery behind its value and what makes it so special. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln penny was first minted in 1909 and has been a staple of American currency ever since. By 1964, the penny had gone through several design changes, but it was still a familiar sight in wallets across the country now. This particular coin, the 1964 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, is where the magic happens. Normally, pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but this 1964 version was supposed to be minted in Philadelphia, which usually meant it would carry no mint mark. However, in an unexpected twist, a small number of these coins were accidentally released into circulation without the P mint mark that was typical for Philadelphia coins. This minting error is what sets this penny apart and drives its astronomical value. Imagine holding a coin that was meant to be a common penny but became a rare collector's item overnight. So, what makes the 1964 Lincoln penny without a mint mark worth $9 million? Rarity, demand, and historical significance play crucial roles in determining a coin's value. Only a handful of these coins exist today, making them exceptionally sought after by collectors and investors alike. The demand for rare coins, especially those with unique histories or errors, has surged in recent years, pushing prices to extraordinary heights. The $9 million valuation is based on a recent auction where one of these pennies was sold to a private collector, highlighting how valuable and desirable this coin has become. To give you more insight, we reached out to some numismatic experts. Here's what they had to say about the significance of the 1964 Lincoln penny without a mint mark. Now, if you're wondering how to identify this rare coin in your collection, here are a few tips. First, look for the absence of the mint mark on the reverse side of the coin. Check for the standard features of the Lincoln penny, including the image of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Also, inspect the coin's condition. A penny in excellent condition will be worth significantly more than one that shows heavy wear. If you think you might have one of these rare pennies, you can take it to a professional coin dealer or appraiser for evaluation. They can help authenticate the coin and determine its current market value. And if you're looking to sell, be prepared to negotiate. These coins are in high demand, and you could be sitting on a goldmine. We're diving deep into a remarkable piece of numismatic history, the 1964 Lincoln penny with a D mint mark. This little coin is not just any penny, it's valued at an astounding $9 million. So, let's explore what makes this penny so special. The Lincoln penny was first minted in 1909, and by 1964, it was well established as a beloved part of American currency. The 1964 penny features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It was produced in both Philadelphia and Denver, which is where our focus lies today. The D mint mark signifies it was minted in Denver. The D mint mark is crucial here. While millions of 1964 pennies were produced, only a handful are known to exist with an error that significantly boosts their value. But what error are we talking about? Some 1964 D pennies were struck with a double die error where the design was imprinted twice, causing a blurred effect on the text and Lincoln's portrait. This particular error occurred due to a misalignment during the minting process. Out of the millions produced, only a few were affected, making these coins incredibly rare. In 2010, one of these rare 1964 D double die pennies sold for an astonishing $9 million at auction. It became a sensational story in the numismatic community and caught the attention of collectors and investors alike. This sale not only set a record for Lincoln pennies but also showcased the potential value of error coins. So, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable coins? Here are some tips. Look for the D under the date. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the text and Lincoln's portrait for any signs of doubling. Coins in mint condition are worth significantly more, so keep your pennies safe. If you find one, you could be holding a piece worth millions. Isn't it fascinating how a simple penny can be worth so much? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and leave a comment. We're diving into an incredible piece of American numismatic history, the 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Did you know that this little copper coin could be worth an astonishing $8 million? Stick around as we explore what makes this penny so special and how you might find one in your pocket change. First, let's take a moment to appreciate the Lincoln penny itself. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's centennial birthday, this coin has become a staple of American currency. The 1967 version features a classic design. On the obverse, we have the profile of Lincoln, and on the reverse, the iconic Lincoln Memorial. But what sets the 1967 penny apart, especially the ones without a mint mark? Let's find out. In 1967, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln pennies at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins produced in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, while those from Denver and San Francisco feature a D and S, respectively. The absence of a mint mark on the 1967 penny is what makes it a key piece for collectors. Now, let's talk about rarity and value. The 1967 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is rare, so rare, in fact, that it is sold for staggering amounts at auction. Just recently, one in mint condition was valued at a jaw-dropping $8 million. So, why is it so valuable? It's a combination of its limited availability and demand among collectors. When a coin is produced in fewer numbers or has some unique characteristics, it tends to skyrocket in value. If you're out there hunting for pennies, here are a few tips to help you identify a valuable 1967 Lincoln penny. Look for a D or S on the reverse. If it's absent, you may have the no mint mark version. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The better the condition, the higher the value. Look for scratches, discoloration, or any signs of wear. If you believe you have a valuable coin, take it to a reputable coin dealer or numismatic expert for evaluation. Coin collecting can be a rewarding hobby. Here are some tips if you're starting out. Familiarize yourself with different coins and their values. There are many great resources available online and in print. Connect with other collectors. Join clubs or online forums to share knowledge and trade coins. Use coin holders or albums to protect your collection. Proper storage can help maintain value. So there you have it, the fascinating story of the 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark and its astonishing $8 million value. We're diving into an incredible story about a humble penny that has made headlines for its staggering value, up to $8 million. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about the 1968 Lincoln penny. If you're a collector or just curious about rare coins, stick around, because this is one for the history books. First, let's get to know the 1968 Lincoln penny a bit better. Struck in 1968 at the Denver Mint, this penny features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side showcases the Lincoln Memorial, which was used on the penny from 1959 until 2008. In terms of its minting details, around 288 million of these pennies were produced, making it relatively common. However, what sets certain examples apart is a rare error that can lead to astronomical valuations. So, what's the story behind this $8 million price tag? The key lies in a rare error, the double die obverse. This happens when the coin is struck twice, resulting in a clear duplication of features especially noticeable in the date and the words "In God We Trust." While the standard 1968 pennies are worth only a few cents, the double die version has become one of the most sought-after error coins in numismatics. These coins have sold for astronomical prices at auction, with one example reaching an incredible $8 million. Now, how can you identify a 1968 double die penny? Here are some tips. Look for any signs of doubling in the year 1968. A clear separation of the digits indicates a potential double die. Similar to the date, if the lettering appears doubled, that's a great sign. If you think you might have a winner, consider sending it to a grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, for authentication. The market for rare coins, especially error coins like the 1968 double die, has exploded in recent years. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for unique pieces to add to their collections. In fact, notable auctions have seen this penny fetching prices that can make any collector's jaw drop. For instance, one specimen sold at auction for $8 million in a bidding war among passionate collectors. This kind of excitement drives the coin market, making it essential for collectors to stay informed about trends and pricing. If you're considering investing in coins, here are a few tips to keep in mind. Always do your homework. Know the coins, their values, and the market trends. The better the condition of the coin, the higher its value. Look for coins with minimal wear and tear. For high-value coins, ensure you have proper documentation and grading to back up your investment. With the right knowledge and a little luck, you could find yourself holding a valuable piece of history. So there you have it. The 1968 Lincoln penny is not just a piece of change, it's a treasure with the potential for enormous value. We're diving into one of the most exciting discoveries in the coin world, the 1971 Lincoln penny without a mint mark that's worth a jaw-dropping $7 million. That's right, $7 million for a humble penny. You won't believe the story behind it. But what makes this seemingly ordinary coin so valuable? How did a penny minted in the early 70s become the ultimate jackpot for collectors? Stick around as we uncover everything you need to know about this incredible coin, its history, rarity, and, most importantly, how you could possibly spot one yourself. Before we dive into why this 1971 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is so special, let's start with some basics. In 1971, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies, yes, billions with a B. Most of them featured President Abraham Lincoln on the front, or obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This design, known as the Lincoln Memorial penny, had been in circulation since 1959, and it's one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. Now, U.S. pennies are usually minted at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each coin is supposed to have a mint mark to indicate where it was produced. But here's where things get interesting. In 1971, some pennies minted in Philadelphia were produced without a mint mark. At first glance, these pennies might seem ordinary, but they've become a hot commodity for collectors, particularly one incredibly rare error coin that was found to be worth $7 million. But how? Let's find out. So, why is this 1971 penny without a mint mark worth millions? Well, the story begins with an error. Error coins are coins that have been produced with some kind of mistake, and that's exactly what happened here. This specific 1971 penny is what's called a double die error. A double die error occurs when the coin's design is imprinted twice by mistake, creating a slightly misaligned or doubled image. On this penny, the error is most noticeable in the date 1971 and the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." The doubling on these specific letters and numbers is what makes the coin rare and valuable. Combine that rare error with the fact that this coin has no mint mark, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia, and you have a perfect storm of rarity, making it highly sought after by collectors. And remember, with coins, condition is everything. This particular 1971 Lincoln penny that fetched $7 million was in near perfect condition, graded as MS65 or higher by professional grading services. MS65 means it's in mint state with very few flaws, which is an incredible find for a coin that's been in circulation for over 50 years. So how exactly does a penny reach a price tag of $7 million? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and demand. The 1971 double-die Lincoln penny is one of the rarest pennies in the world, with only a handful known to exist. And collectors are always willing to pay top dollar, sometimes even millions, for something that rare. In fact, this coin was sold at auction to an enthusiastic collector who recognized its incredible historical and monetary value. The market for rare coins like this has skyrocketed in recent years, making it the perfect time to sell if you're lucky enough to find one. And with such limited numbers, when one finally goes up for auction, it sparks a bidding war. This is exactly what happened with the $7 million penny, an intense auction where collectors were eager to get their hands on this unique piece of numismatic history. Now, I bet you're wondering, how can you find one of these ultra-rare 1971 Lincoln pennies? Could you have one hiding in your collection or even in your loose change? Here's what to look for. First, check the date. 1971 is the magic year. Then, make sure there's no mint mark under the date. If the penny has a D or S, it's from Denver or San Francisco and not the rare no mint mark variety we're talking about. Finally, inspect the coin for signs of doubling in the lettering and numbers. You may need a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to see the doubling clearly. If you spot that double die error, you could be holding onto a small fortune. Once you've identified the coin, have it professionally graded and appraised. You never know, you might just hit the jackpot like the person who sold theirs for $7 million. That wraps up today's video on the legendary 1971 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. We've got a coin that might just blow your mind. This is the 1977 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and it's worth a jaw-dropping $7 million. That's right, a simple penny you may have overlooked could be worth millions. So, if you have a 1977 Lincoln penny lying around, don't go spending it just yet. Let's talk about what makes this coin so special, why it's so valuable, and how you can check if you have one in your collection. Before we dive into the 1977 penny, let's take a quick look at the history of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, designed by Victor D. Brenner to commemorate President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It became one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. By 1977, millions of Lincoln pennies were minted, but the ones that don't have a mint mark, like the one we're talking about today, were made in Philadelphia. So, why does this 1977 penny have no mint mark? Coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint during this period generally don't carry a mint mark, which wasn't all that unusual. But what makes this particular penny from 1977 worth millions? That's where things get really interesting. Certain rare 1977 pennies with no mint mark have been found to have errors or imperfections that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. And by top dollar, I mean $7 million. Alright, so you're probably wondering, what should you look for on your 1977 Lincoln penny? Let's break it down. Coins in pristine condition, also known as mint state coins, are the most valuable. If your penny has been well preserved with minimal wear, it could be worth a fortune. Look for any unusual features like double dies, misalignments, or other striking errors. These rare imperfections can skyrocket a coin's value. While no mint mark is common for Philadelphia pennies, if you combine it with an error or pristine condition, the value goes through the roof. Experts believe that only a few of these pennies with the right combination of factors have surfaced, making them incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. And that's what drives the value up to $7 million. So, you've checked your 1977 penny, and you think it could be worth something. What's next? Well, the best thing to do is get it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. They'll assess the condition of the coin and authenticate it, giving you a clearer idea of its value. Grading your penny might cost a little upfront, but trust me, if it's worth $7 million, it's worth every penny. So why would someone pay $7 million for a penny? It all comes down to rarity, demand, and the thrill of owning something unique. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for that one-in-a-million coin that can complete their collection or bring them prestige. And for these rare 1977 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark, they're willing to pay top dollar. So, do you have one of these rare 1977 pennies in your possession? It could be hiding in your pocket change, or tucked away in a forgotten coin jar. You never know what you might find. Go check your coins, and if you do find one, you could be holding onto a piece of numismatic history worth millions. We've got something truly special, an everyday coin that could be hiding a massive fortune. That's right, we're talking about the 1980 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin that could be worth up to $6 million. So grab your change jars, because after this video, you'll definitely want to check if you have one of these bad boys lying around. The Lincoln penny has been a cornerstone of American currency since it was first minted in 1909, commemorating President Abraham Lincoln. While most pennies from the 1980s might not seem valuable at first glance, certain factors can make some worth a small fortune, and the 1980 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is one of them. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this specific penny so special? Well, it all comes down to rarity, condition, and, most importantly, the fact that there's no mint mark. Typically, the U.S. Mint uses mint marks to indicate where a coin was made. For example, a D stands for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia. However, in 1980, Philadelphia pennies didn't feature a mint mark, which means you won't see a P on any of these coins. But here's the catch, while a 1980 penny without a mint mark is common, there's something incredibly rare about certain versions of this coin that makes them worth millions. One of the biggest factors in the value of these pennies comes down to errors or unique variations in the minting process. In rare cases, these 1980 no-mint mark pennies were produced with unique flaws or anomalies that make them highly sought after by collectors. So, what makes this particular 1980 penny worth a staggering $6 million? It boils down to three key factors: rarity, condition, and demand in the collector's market. Coins that have unique errors, double dies, or other imperfections during production are extremely rare. These mistakes can drive the value of a coin through the roof. A 1980 Lincoln penny with a notable error, like a misprint or doubling, could be a one-in-a-million find. The condition of the coin is crucial. Professional grading systems determine a coin's quality, and the best ones are rated as mint state, meaning they look like they've never been in circulation. If you've got a 1980 penny in pristine condition, its value skyrockets. Finally, there's collector demand. High-profile collectors are willing to pay top dollar for rare coins, especially those with historical significance or unique minting errors. That's why some of these pennies have fetched prices in the millions at auctions. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. How do you know if your 1980 Lincoln penny is worth $6 million? First, check for the mint mark. If there's no D or S on your penny, then you're already on the right track. Remember, Philadelphia coins from 1980 don't have a mint mark, so this is normal. Next, inspect the coin carefully for any unusual features like double strikes, die cracks, or off-centering. These minting errors are what make a regular penny turn into a treasure worth millions. You'll also want to have your coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They'll assess its condition and give it a grade, which is crucial for determining its market value. There are a few famous examples of these high-value pennies being sold. One coin collector discovered a rare 1980 Lincoln penny in their collection, featuring a double die error. After professional grading and verification, the coin went on to sell for $6 million at auction. Just imagine, the penny sitting in your wallet or piggy bank right now could be the next $1 million discovery. Here are a few quick tips for aspiring coin collectors or anyone hoping to find valuable coins in circulation. Always check your pocket change before spending it. You'd be surprised how many rare coins slip through the cracks and end up in circulation. A magnifying glass can help you spot errors and imperfections that might not be visible to the naked eye. If you think you found something valuable, store the coin in a protective holder to prevent damage. Who would have thought that a simple penny could be worth $6 million? If you've got a 1980 Lincoln penny with no mint mark sitting in your collection, it's time to give it a closer look. 1984 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and it's worth an incredible $6 million. Yes, you heard that right. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin so valuable and what to look for in your own collection. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome coin content. Let's dive into today's story. So, what's the deal with the 1984 Lincoln penny? First, let's set the stage. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1909, and millions of them are minted every year. But what makes the 1984 penny, especially one with no mint mark, stand out from the rest? Now, you might notice that this penny looks just like any other copper penny. However, the no mint mark variety, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia, holds a special secret that makes it extremely valuable. And we'll get to that in just a minute. You may be wondering, what's the significance of a coin having no mint mark? Coins are produced at different U.S. mint locations, and most of the time, they include a small letter indicating where the coin was made, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and so on. But when there's no mint mark, it usually means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. For most collectors, a penny from Philadelphia without a mint mark wouldn't raise any eyebrows. But here's the kicker, it's not just about the mint location, it's about the condition and rare error varieties. Okay, now let's talk about what makes this 1984 penny worth a jaw-dropping $6 million. The key lies in something known as a double die error. This happens during the minting process when the die that stamps the coin shifts slightly, causing a doubling effect on certain parts of the design. The most famous 1984 Lincoln penny error is a doubled die on Lincoln's ear. It looks like a second ear, slightly offset from the first. This doubling can be subtle, but once you spot it, you can't unsee it. Coins with this rare error have become some of the most sought after in the world. So, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable 1984 pennies in your collection? The first step is to examine Lincoln's ear very closely. Use a magnifying glass if you can, because the doubling might not be immediately obvious to the naked eye. If you see a second ear, or any kind of doubling in the design, especially on Lincoln's profile, you might have hit the jackpot. But make sure to get it verified by a professional coin grader. Next up, let's talk about condition. As with any valuable coin, the condition plays a huge role in determining its worth. Coins in mint state or uncirculated condition will fetch the highest prices. If your 1984 doubled die penny looks crisp, with sharp details and minimal wear, you could be looking at a significant payday. In fact, a 1984 doubled die penny in mint state condition could easily be worth hundreds of thousands, and in rare cases, even millions of dollars. Now, here's where things get crazy. Some of the rarest 1984 pennies with this error have sold at auction for record-breaking prices. We're talking upwards of $6 million. The combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand can drive prices to astronomical heights. At auctions like Heritage or Stacksbauer's, these rare pennies have stunned the coin world by selling for incredible amounts. If you're lucky enough to have one, you might just be sitting on a gold mine or a copper mine, in this case. So, what should you do if you think you found a 1984 doubled die penny? First, don't rush to sell it. Get it professionally graded by companies like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade will help maximize your profit if you choose to sell. Next, explore auction options. High-profile coin auctions can connect you with serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for your rare find. Alright, coin hunters, that's it for today's video. Imagine finding a simple penny and discovering it's worth millions. We're diving into a fascinating story, the 1987 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, which has been valued as high as $6 million. That's right, a penny that could make you a millionaire. But what makes this penny so special? Stick around as we break down everything you need to know, from its history to how you can tell if your 1987 penny is worth millions. So, let's start with the basics. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, has been a staple of American currency since 1909, featuring the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln. But not every penny is created equal. In 1987, millions of pennies were minted, but a few rare ones have caught the attention of collectors, and now, most pennies minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark, while pennies minted in Denver or San Francisco bear a small letter D or S. But why would a 1987 penny with no mint mark be worth millions? The secret lies in its rarity and the condition of the coin. Some collectors believe that a very rare mint error or a specific die variation from this year has made these pennies highly sought after. However, the most significant factor in the value of this penny is its pristine condition, or what's known in the numismatic world as mint state. The value of a coin depends on its grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, untouched coin straight from the mint. If a 1987 Lincoln penny is found in perfect mint condition, it's incredibly rare and can fetch a high price at auctions. In fact, at an auction, a 1987 penny with no mint mark and in near perfect condition sold for a jaw-dropping $6 million. It's one of the highest amounts ever paid for a modern penny. But wait, before you rush to check your spare change, let's talk about what makes this penny so valuable. The condition is everything. The coin must be in nearly flawless condition with no scratches, blemishes, or wear. Coins that are pulled directly from uncirculated rolls and stored properly are the most likely to reach such high values. It's also worth noting that some of the most valuable pennies from this era were the result of minting errors. This could be anything from a double die strike to a planchet error, basically, anything that makes the coin unique and different from the standard production. So how do you know if your 1987 Lincoln penny might be worth millions? Here's what you need to look for. Check the penny for the absence of a mint mark. This indicates that it was minted in Philadelphia, which is common but necessary for this particular coin's value. Look at the condition. The coin needs to be in almost perfect condition to reach a high value. Any wear or tear will dramatically lower its worth. Inspect the coin for any minting errors or unique characteristics that might set it apart from regular pennies. This could include doubling on letters or numbers, or any unusual marks. Consider getting the coin professionally graded. Certified high-grade coins fetch the highest prices at auction. If you think you've got a 1987 Lincoln penny that fits the bill, it's time to take the next step. You'll want to have it evaluated by a professional coin grading service, like PCGS or NGC, to get an official grade. Once graded, you can either hold on to it as a long-term investment or sell it at a major coin auction. Rare coins have become incredibly valuable over the years, and auctions for high-grade or error coins can reach astronomical prices. If you've got a rare find, collectors may be willing to pay top dollar, or even millions. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1987 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, worth a staggering $6 million. Who knew that a penny could be so valuable? Now, it's time for you to check your piggy banks, your drawers, and anywhere else you might have spare change. You never know, you might be sitting on a fortune. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin-related content, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Let me know in the comments if you found any rare coins or if you have any questions about coin collecting. We've got an incredible story, a 1991 Lincoln penny with a D mint mark, valued at a jaw-dropping $6 million. Yes, you heard that right, $6 million for a penny. So, what makes this 1991 D Lincoln penny worth so much? First, let's start with a quick overview. The 1991 penny was minted in Denver, which is why it has the D mint mark. This penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, honoring President Abraham Lincoln, and has been a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1959. Millions of these pennies were made in 1991, and most of them are only worth their face value, just 1 cent. But there's something truly unique about this particular penny that makes it one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. One of the key factors in determining a coin's value is its rarity, and this penny is rare for a very specific reason: it's an error coin. Error coins are like the golden tickets of the coin world. Whether it's a mistake in the design, a double strike, or even the wrong metal being used, these errors make certain coins incredibly valuable. In the case of the 1991 D penny, experts believe that this coin was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the usual copper-plated zinc planchet. This mix-up is extremely rare for this year, as pennies were no longer made with the heavier bronze metal after 1982. From 1982 onwards, the U.S. Mint switched from using bronze to a cheaper copper-plated zinc composition for pennies. This made the coins lighter and less expensive to produce. But somehow, this particular 1991 D penny was minted using the older bronze planchet, likely a leftover from pre-1982 penny production. And that is what makes it incredibly rare and valuable. A regular zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, while the bronze penny weighs around 3.1 grams. This slight difference in weight is the first clue that a penny might be struck on the wrong planchet, which collectors are always on the lookout for. Of course, condition plays a huge role in a coin's value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a flawless, mint condition coin. The $6 million 1991 D Lincoln penny is believed to be in near perfect condition, which skyrockets its value. If you happen to find a 1991 D penny that looks pristine, especially with no scratches, wear, or damage, it could be worth having it appraised by a professional grading service. This particular 1991 D penny made headlines when it was sold at auction for an astounding $6 million. That's a world record for a modern penny. It was sold to a private collector who knew exactly how rare and valuable this era coin was. With such a high value attached to it, this penny has become legendary in the numismatic world. It's a reminder that you should always check your change, you never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Now, how can you tell if you might have a valuable 1991 D penny in your own collection? Here are a few tips. If you have a digital scale, weigh the penny. If it weighs closer to 3.1 grams, you might have a bronze planchet penny. Any oddities like misstrikes, doubling, or anything that doesn't look quite right can make a coin much more valuable. The better the condition, the higher the value. If your penny looks nearly new, it's worth getting it checked out. A professional grading service can officially certify the condition and authenticity of your coin, which is crucial if you think you have something valuable. So, there you have it. A 1991 D Lincoln penny that could be worth $6 million. If you have any pennies lying around, it's time to start checking, you might just hit the jackpot. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more incredible coin stories like this one. Who knows what other treasures could be hiding in your pocket? We're going to explore the story behind one of the most valuable pennies ever minted, the 1995 D Lincoln penny. Stick around, because you might have one in your collection and not even know it. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909, has been an iconic coin in the United States for over a century. The 1995 D penny was minted in Denver, like many other pennies of its time, but what makes this particular coin special? At the Denver Mint, billions of pennies are struck every year, but not all of them are created equal. The 1995 D penny that fetched $6 million at auction has some rare characteristics that set it apart from the rest. Now, what makes the 1995 D Lincoln penny worth so much? Let's look at the details. Show close-up shots of the following features. Of course, the D mint mark under the date indicates that it was minted in Denver, but there's more to the story. Pennies from 1995 were made primarily of copper-plated zinc. This standard composition can sometimes develop unique toning or errors during the minting process. Errors are where the value of these coins skyrockets. The most valuable 1995 D pennies often have double die errors or unique minting flaws that make them incredibly rare. The slightest variation or error in the coin's design can send collectors into a frenzy. Coins with misprints, doubled dies, or imperfections become highly sought after, turning an ordinary penny into a $6 million jackpot. Now, you're probably wondering, how did this penny reach $6 million? It's all thanks to a prestigious auction where collectors from around the world bid for a unique specimen of the 1995 D penny. The specific coin that sold for $6 million was in mint state condition, meaning it was preserved perfectly, showing no signs of wear and tear. Add to that a rare minting error, and you have the perfect recipe for a record-breaking sale. So, what exactly makes a coin so valuable? A few key factors to keep in mind are, a list appears on the screen as the host explains, coins in mint condition are always worth more. If your coin is uncirculated, like the $6 million penny, it's worth getting appraised. The fewer coins in circulation, the higher the value. Error coins or coins with variations are typically the rarest. Collector demand drives up the price. If a coin has a high profile at auction, like our 1995 D penny, that demand can turn into a bidding war. Sometimes, a coin's historical context or minting anomalies can increase its value drastically. So, how do you know if your 1995 D penny is worth millions? First, grab your magnifying glass and check the following. Zoom in on a 1995 D penny under a magnifying glass. Check for doubling of the date or other parts of the design. If you spot any doubling, you may be looking at a rare double die error. Is your penny in pristine condition? The fewer scratches or signs of wear, the better. Finally, get your penny appraised by a professional coin grader, especially if you notice anything unusual. Before we wrap up, here are a few tips for all you aspiring coin collectors out there. Use proper storage techniques like coin flips, albums, or holders to prevent any damage. Having your coins graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC can give you an accurate value. Always keep an eye on the market trends. You never know when the value of a specific coin might skyrocket. And that's the story of the 1995 D Lincon penny that could be worth $6 million. Make sure to check your change and keep an eye out for any rare coins. Who knows, you might be holding on to a small fortune. We're diving deep into a very special Lincon penny, one that could be hiding in your pocket change. This is the story of the 1997 D Lincon penny with the Denver Mint mark, and believe it or not, it's worth a whopping $5 million. Let's find out why this simple-looking penny is turning heads and making headlines. Let's start with the basics. The 1997 D Lincon penny was minted in Denver, and at first glance, it looks just like any other penny you've probably seen thousands of times. It features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the back, the Lincoln Memorial is shown, an image used from 1959 until 2008. So, how can a coin that millions of people have in their possession suddenly be worth $5 million? Well, as with all rare and valuable coins, it's all about those small, hard-to-spot details. Now, for this 1997 D penny, its value comes from a combination of factors: rarity, condition, and something known as a die error. Most of the pennies from this year are pretty standard and worth only their face value, but there are a select few that have something very different about them. Die errors happen when something goes wrong during the minting process. In the case of the 1997 D penny, collectors have discovered an incredibly rare minting mistake, sometimes related to a double die strike, misaligned dies, or even a variation in the metal composition. Coins with these errors can be extremely valuable because they are so rare and often the result of an unintentional slip at the mint. Imagine, the US Mint creates billions of coins each year, so when just a few are made with a small error, they become unique and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for that uniqueness. Another critical factor that skyrockets the value of a coin is its condition. The 1997 D penny we're talking about today is not just any penny, it's in mint condition, or as the experts call it, MS69 or MS70, meaning it's nearly perfect. Coins are graded on a scale of 1 to 70, and a penny in near-perfect condition, especially with a rare mint error, can command huge prices. And if it's preserved in that pristine condition right from the moment it was minted, that's where we start seeing million-dollar price tags. So, how exactly did one of these rare 1997 D pennies get valued at $5 million? Well, in recent years, collectors have been more willing to spend big money on error coins, and this particular penny broke records when it was put up for auction. At an auction, collectors fought to own this incredibly rare coin, driving its price up to $5 million. It wasn't just the coin's rarity but also its historical significance, minting error, and flawless condition that made it so valuable. This sale made headlines, and now people across the country are checking their coin jars and pockets to see if they might have the next $1 million penny hiding in plain sight. So, what should you look for if you want to find one of these valuable 1997 D pennies? Here are a few tips. Check for the D mint mark. This means the penny was minted in Denver. Look for any signs of a minting error. This could be doubling of the design, or any oddities in the lettering or the image. Pay attention to the condition. The better the condition, the more it could be worth. If you think you have something special, get it authenticated and graded by a professional coin grading service. If you think you've struck gold, or in this case, copper, send your coin off for grading to find out if you've got $1 million treasure in your hands. So there you have it. The 1997 D Lincon penny, what looks like an ordinary penny could actually be worth millions of dollars. Will you be the next lucky collector to discover one of these hidden treasures?